When you begin to talk about a series that has such a long and rich history like Zelda does, there's already so much said that it's hard to come up with anything new. Zelda Informer has put together a massive top 100 list encompassing the best moments in Zelda history. While the first 30 were done in an article format, we'll be doing the top 70 moments in segments featuring 20 moments at a time, culminating with the top 10 getting their own special video tribute. Let's just dive right into our countdown with moment number 70. It's diving off the waterfall in Zora's Domain, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. This makes the list for the pure thrill factor of your first experience doing it. Back in 1998, Ocarina of Time was one of the first games to feature a 3D world that had an actual diving portion to it. While it was only a minigame, it was a thrilling experience that made players come back again and again, and on top of that, I'm sure I'm not the only one who wanted to go randomly jump off cliffs all across the world. Of course, we wouldn't suggest doing that without actually researching. As an example, if Zora's Domain was a real place, Link would have actually killed himself on that first dive. Unfortunately, the water's a tad too shallow. Continuing on with moment number 69, it's the Romani Ranch aliens from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. This was the exact moment I knew that Termino was definitely not Hyrule in disguise. Aliens at the ranch? Abducting cows? I love it. Running around shooting aliens was certainly the last thing anyone thought they would be doing in a Zelda game, and it turned out to be one of the most entertaining side quests in Majora's Mask. This was less about creating an emotional connection to the world, and more about just having some plain old-fashioned fun. Let's move on to moment number 68. Aryll captured, The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. This was a rather shocking moment in Zelda history because Link had never had a sister before, and just as you got to know her, she gets kidnapped by a massive bird. It's the event that starts Link on his journey and begins one of the best Zelda adventures to date. Moment number 67 in our countdown is turning into a bunny from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. The first time Link shapeshifts wasn't Majora's Mask, as some have come to suspect, but rather it was in the very early 90s through A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo. While Link becoming a bunny was not necessarily by choice, it was part of one of the most memorable quests and story aspects of the most beloved 2D Zelda adventure to date. Here's number 66 on our countdown, The Zora's Cleansed from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. This is another truly touching moment from Majora's Mask. Throughout the game, you are reliving the glory days of the most beloved members of each society. Well, sort of. And you bring peace and understanding to the Zoras shortly after beating the Great Bay Temple. The ensuing concert and healing of the people is extremely touching. Number 65 is Zant Takes Over Hyrule from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is one of two moments in Twilight Princess when Zant stands out as a real badass. Not very many people can march into Hyrule Castle, easily dispense of the guards, and make Zelda literally give up her kingdom. Seriously, she doesn't even put up a fight, she simply drops her sword and surrender. It's not like she really had a choice. If she chose to fight, she probably would have been killed and still lost the kingdom. The worst part, of course, is that in Zant taking over Hyrule, the townspeople weren't even aware of it.
Alright, let's pretend that nothing's changed and you're still hearing the same guy talking. Number 64 in our list is the moment when you get the Master Sword in Link to the Past. Most of us have played that game as kids, and back then, suddenly seeing the Lost Woods light up with all the beautiful shadows of the leaves and a brand new shiny sword was like a million birthdays rolled into one. Definitely one of the most memorable scenes in all of Zelda history.
Number 63 is next, and it's sumo wrestling from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Let's see. You're in this mystical fantasy realm with all this chaos going on around you, and the world is being enveloped in twilight. So what do you have to do to move on? Yes, beat the Gorons in sumo wrestling, of course. It wouldn't be Zelda without some quirky action to press forward, and this time Link has to learn how to bump a Goron out of a circle. He goes back and learns how to do so from the mayor of his hometown, all the while giving the fangirls a little eye candy, and then goes back and proceeds to beat a Goron who is severely stronger than him. It created one of the more interesting oddball moments in Zelda history. Number 62 is bouncing around in Ricky's pouch from The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons. I don't think I need to say much about this one. You get to bounce around in a kangaroo pouch in the Zelda game. How cool is that? Number 61 is being transported to the Dark World after beating Aghanim from The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past. The first time you experience this, not knowing that the Dark World even exists, is a complete shock. You beat Aghanim in the Light World and think the game is over. After all, everything in the game to this point has built up to the epic showdown. And then suddenly, you're transported to the Dark World and you realize your adventure has only just begun. And the true evil behind it all is Ganon, not Aghanim. This was an extremely shocking moment back in the early 90s and is still shocking to those discovering A Link to the Past today. Here we come to number 60 in the countdown, Midna's transformation in the final showdown from The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. How do you make the most beloved sidekick character in Zelda better? How about taking that fused shadow thing and becoming a giant mutant spider? Sure, works for us. Until this point in the game, the fused shadow was practically worthless, but out of nowhere, Midna decides to finally use its power. To start off the second half of this batch of the countdown, we have number 59, the Deku preparing Fried Monkey from The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The monkeys may be super important in the early parts of Twilight Princess, but long before that tale came to fruition, the monkeys were up to a bit of mischief. Of course, in this case they were being falsely accused, but who cares, right? When you entered the Deku Palace for the first time, you would see the Deku preparing Mr. Monkey to become a lean dinner. Number 58 is playing music with the Windmill Guy from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The Windmill Guy who teaches you the Song of Storms is certainly a fun character. and playing music together with him is nothing short of glee-filled bliss. Hey look, I said Glee. It's a good show, just like this is a good moment. What? You got a problem with me watching Glee? Yeah, I went there. Number 57 is watching Kakariko burn from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. When you show up to Kakariko Village after becoming an adult, you're greeted with a rather sad sight. The village is on fire, and Sheik is there and getting treated like a rag doll. The true evil going on in Hyrule becomes clearer than it's ever been before. This once happy village that was building for expansion is practically in ruin. It is a sad day in Hyrule's history indeed. Next up is number 56, Stone Tower Temple getting flipped from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Stone Tower Temple is arguably the best dungeon in all of Zelda, and part of that is the shock factor and unique puzzle aspect found in flipping the entire dungeon upside down. This is something that was never previously seen in a Zelda game, or really any game to date, a truly unique puzzle aspect that we hope returns one day. Number 55 on our countdown is meeting the king from The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Placing this moment was difficult because there are so many great moments in Zelda history. You've never, in the history of Zelda, met the actual king of Hyrule until this moment. In this moment, you discover a lot about Hyrule and the happenings in The Wind Waker. However, nothing is more shocking than when you actually see the king himself. While hinted at before, finally meeting him feels like a moment I'd been waiting for since 1986. Next up is 54, getting the Master Sword in The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. One of the most unique puzzles in Zelda history leads to the epic pulling of the Master Sword yet again. Many a gamer got stumped, making this a moment of joy and frustration all wrapped together. Number 53 on our countdown is imprinting the map by closing the DS from The Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass. We may not have much love for Phantom Hourglass here at ZI, but even we have to admit the brilliance of this one moment in the game. Many people got stuck not knowing what to do, and I'm sure even more got lucky, because they closed their DS in frustration, only to come back and discover a new imprint on the map that allowed them to progress further. Seriously, it was a very ingenious use of the DS itself, and something no one saw coming. Number 52 is stuffing the Deku Princess into a bottle from The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Oh, we have to travel long distances? Oh, you suck at traveling? It's cool, I'll just shove you into a bottle. Sure, she hated it. And yeah, it was pretty mean, but aren't bottles the secret to everything? Now, if only we could put Navi into one. The final moment in this portion of the countdown is number 51, snowboarding from The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess. This minigame instantly brought back memories of the 1080 snowboarding game from back in the day. It's fun, it's different, and it's not something many people saw coming. It's truly a great memory from a pretty underrated experience.